Hey Metal Maniacs, this is Jens of Surgical Strike and you are freshening it up on Dave Softee's Metal Meltdown on Metal Messiah Radio.
Are we ready? All right, here we go, Metal Maniacs. Please help me welcome to Metal Messiah Radio. Hailing from Germany, joining us from Thrash Metal Band Surgical Strike, here to talk about the band's upcoming release, 24/7 Hate, being released March 1st, 2024 through Metalville Records based in Germany. Joining us, we have the voice of Surgical Strike, Jens Albert.
Yeah, good evening, Maniacs. And good medium, Dave.
Great to have you here on the Metal Meltdown. How you doing out there? I got with Marcelo for your previous offering, part of A Sick World in 2020, and it's great to have new music to talk to you about. And I also noticed that you still have the same lineup, which is great news. So I just want to quickly mention yourself on vocals. We have Marcelo and Frank on guitar, Florian on bass, and Moritz on drums. I know in the Metal Archives they call you a power thrash band, but I think you have definitely established yourself as a really good thrash metal band. You're powerful, but you're a thrash metal band.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I think we all have different influences, you know. Like me, by myself, I'm an old school metal maniac. I started listening to metal with bands like Queensryche, for example. It's my favorite band. And yeah, a lot of US metal stuff, like bands like Armored Saint, or another band I truly love is Sanctuary, or Fate's Warning, some
Oh yeah,
progressive metal stuff, the early
yeah,
Dream Theater albums. And
yeah.
yeah,
So
like Frank.
we're into the same music then. That's what I grew up on, and that's how you got your name, Surgical Strike, from you mentioned Queensryche. Yeah. So
Yeah, it's a Queensryche track, yeah.
yeah. And so
And the,
congratulations on the brand new offering.
yeah, do you like it?
I love it.
Oh, cool.
I love the last one too. You're very consistent, and you have that thrash feel that I love, and it's aggressive. And what's not to love?
Yeah, okay. Most important thing is to write catchy songs in the end, and yeah, what we try to achieve with our new album is to make the songs a bit more catchy than on our last offering, and but not to lose the heaviness at all from our debut album and from our debut EP, you know.
The EP was a little different. It had a different sound. I could see that being more of a power thrash offering, but I think over the years, especially with your previous offering and now, you definitely have established yourself as a really good thrash metal band.
Yeah, thank you, man. The
I'm
only
sorry.
thing that makes me a bit upset that it has to take us 4 years to make a new album. But anyway, now it will be released, and we are happy in the end, and that's the most important thing to us.
Yeah, we're living in different times now. You know, back in the day when we were growing up listening to the bands you mentioned, they would bring out a new album every year. But these bands today, they're taking 6 years, 8 years, maybe a decade before they release new music. It's not coming out every year. So 4 years is not really a long time in this day and age, because you know what? We're living in a different world. Everyone has regular jobs, they have families. It's not so
That's
easy to put out new music every year or every
that's
two
what I
years.
want. Yeah. That's what I wanted to mention. And don't forget the Corona pandemic and all that stuff. We were all writing when our first album was released. We were all already writing new songs, and we planned to release an album 2 years later. And yeah, then came Corona and all this shit, and yeah, living in different parts of Germany nowadays, and so we didn't even have the opportunity to meet and to practice and all that stuff, and so yeah, we had to delay it 2 more years, and that's it.
Like we talked about before the interview, Zoom, a lot of bands during COVID were doing the practicing and even recording through Zoom. I don't know exactly how they did it, but it was done. I mean, they found a way to, practice and do whatever. But yeah, COVID was something else, and we're never going to get rid of COVID. It's going to be like the flu. Every season or every year, we're going to have to take a
Yeah,
vaccine
yeah.
to keep it at bay, as they say. But let's learn all we can about 24/7 hate. As I said, it's a kick-ass offering, and I want to know where this was recorded, what studio was this recorded in, and who was responsible for mixing, mastering, and producing this offering.
We recorded it in the same studio, then we recorded our debut album, and it was the way we worked and the man we worked with. That was Lasse Lammert from Lübeck. It's in the very north of Germany, and we did it exactly the same way than we did with our debut album, because we were so pleased with it that we don't wanted to make any experiments or something like that, and we wanted to make sure to have the same sound or even a better sound than we had in our latest offer, you know.
I see. Okay, great. It works. You might as well stick with the formula if it works, right?
Yeah, sure, of course.
And could you share with us how the tunes all came together? Who was responsible for the melodies, the music, and for the writing process? Who was responsible for coming up with the lyrics?
Usually, Marcelo is writing most of all the songs, and this time Marcelo wrote 6 songs. Frank wrote 3 songs. Marcelo wrote 7 songs. We had an introduction. I think Marcelo. I don't know. What am I saying here? Marcelo wrote 5 songs, I think. Our bass player wrote 1 song, and 1 song was written by Frank. And I'm doing all the lyrics.
You're doing all the lyrics. Okay, that's good to know.
I'm doing all the lyrics by myself, yes.
Right. And you were saying that the music is very similar. You want to keep the same style, the same way that the same process, I guess you would say, of doing your music. So I guess it's safe to say that fans could expect the same from Surgical Strike from the previous recording, that if they like how that sound, that thrashy sound, they're going to look, because your vocals are really good. They're the same as they've been. You have very strong vocals. You could fit into any thrash metal band.
Thanks, man. I like to hear that.
Yeah, it's true. It's obvious.
And there's a lot of people. They always compare me to Steve Sousa and sometimes to Miller with Creator or something like that. But I try to with every output we are making, I try to maintain my own style. You know, that's the most important thing to me. That people say maybe somewhere in the future people say this guy sounds like James Albert. You know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, yeah, I can see what your friends are or your fans are telling you, that you sound like Zetro or Millie. You do definitely have a similar type of tone to your voice, but you are very original as well. So keep true, and keep doing what you do. And let's talk about the imagery for the CD cover. You always have great artwork, and I assume it's from the same guy that does all your artwork. But who's responsible for the image on this 24/7 Hate? I gotta say, it's pretty sick, and most likely it's symbolic for the times.
Yeah, of course. The same with our debut album, and yeah, the artwork was done by Timon Kokot. He is the same guy who did. He's a very good artist, and he also did the artwork for the first album. And yeah, I think the times got even darker than on our debut, and we tried to make our sound and also our artwork a bit more like, dark. This is why it looks a bit darker, and it has all this apocalyptic stuff in the background, and these guys waking up from these tubes. You've seen it, and with they're getting fed with all these images they see in the front, and yeah, this is how they grow up, So it's a bit, like image of the times we are living in some way.
Yes, it's very symbolic of that. I definitely get that. And I want to talk about some. Well, first of all, you have your CD release party, as this is going to be out March 1st. On March 1st, you have your CD release party at Hanover, is it? And let's talk about that particular show on March 1st, 7 p.m. CET. And who will be performing with you on the CD release party? And what other performances may you have coming up that we could spread the word on?
Our CD release party, we have 2 supports. One local support, it's a band called Final Cry. They are doing some sort of thrash death metal and even a bit of power metal mix. It's an interesting band. They are around since 35 years now. And the other band we have that is supporting us is Task Force Toxicator. You know them?
It does sound familiar. I don't know if I have anything recent from them, but that does sound familiar. And they're from Germany? Are they from Germany?
Yeah, they are also from Germany, from Münster. It's 200 kilometers from here. It's a very young band, and these guys are fans of us, and we played 1 show with them. And they are very young. They are maybe 20, at the mid-20 or something like that. Some of these guys can even be my children, maybe. And but they have a debut album out now. It's called Laser Samurai, and it's a very good album. It's a bit of a mix between old school thrash metal and hardcore. A bit like, I think they sound a bit like bands like Municipal Waste or something like that, or
Okay.
Suicidal Tendency or something like that. And
Okay.
yeah, I can recommend it to you. It's a very good band. And yeah, they are supporting us for that particular show.
I appreciate that. I probably am not. I'm confusing them with another band if they have a debut album out now. I probably not have heard them, but I'll have to check into that. And thank you for letting me know the name of the
If
album.
you want
And
to, I can send you the link or something like that,
I
the
I appre
video.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And what other shows are you working on to support the new album? Do you have anything lined up already? Do you have anything booked?
To be honest, not a lot of shows. Actually, but we are working on it, and we are trying with the booking. The problem here is that you have so many shows going on and so many bands playing since the pandemic, and it's very hard to get on a show. But we are already working on it, and I think there will be, yeah, a lot of great things coming up for sure. But we have, first of all, we want to wait until the release of our album, and then we will see how it will continue. But
Right.
we want to play live, and we are ready for it, and we began practicing for it, also practicing on new stuff, and yeah. So yeah, if someone wants to book us, so here you go.
How about Jens? Are you looking forward to joining some festivals? You know, in the summertime, there'll be a lot of festivals around. I'm sure you'd like to perform at some.
Yeah, maybe we already performed at Wacken 2 years ago, and Dong Open Air, and we have some we send some material, promo materials to some festivals, and maybe there's something going on. We in the past we had the opportunity to play some festivals. The problem was that it was always the time from where they asked us to play and the time when the festival took place. It was always too short. Maybe they asked us 1 week before, and we couldn't. Because we are all working in jobs, and
Right.
yeah, we couldn't say, hey, yeah, man, we're playing because we had some other plans going on or something like that. And so, yeah, sure, we want to play big festivals, but it's always a problem if yeah, they have to book us from the beginning on. And the problem is if they ask us 1 week before the festival takes place, it's always a problem for us to get our guys together.
That's understandable. Yeah, that's kind of sad that they give you such short notice. But how was your experience at Wacken? What did that feel like for you?
It was excellent, excellent.
Great.
For me personally, it was the first time I was at Wacken, and yeah, years ago I always said to some friends or something, they always laughed at me. I said I want to go to Wacken, but only if I play there by myself. And yeah, because the problem is with Wacken, all the tickets are always sold out after 2 weeks. You don't get a ticket, and if you get a ticket, it's too expensive. It's because it's such a big festival. And
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
I was there
definitely.
2 years ago when we were there. It was a really good feeling. They cared of us, and we met a lot of cool bands. For example, we met Loudness, the Japanese band, and we met the singer from Soilwork, and so many people we met there backstage. And yeah, it was a really cool experience. And yeah, it was party 4 days long. I've seen Judas Priest, I've seen Merciful Fate, I've seen Overkill, and I've seen Loudness, and what else did I see? I've seen Hypocrisy and all these cool bands, even Slipknot. I'm not a fan of Slipknot, but I saw them perform live, and it was really a great performance.
I imagine so. Yeah, that's great that you were there and got to experience that and enjoy the festival and everything like that. And let's inform the fans how they could get the CD. I want to give some links, and then we could talk about other merch that if you have anything available or working on. I want to give. I think is probably the best link is the www.surgicalstrike.de, your homepage.
Yeah, or Facebook homepage. That's
Right.
or Facebook account. So you have all the news available, or maybe on Instagram.
Right. I'm going to give those links too at Facebook and Instagram. Is basically the same, but it's www.facebook.com/forward slash surgical strike metal. And on
Yeah,
Instagram, it's Instagram.com Surgical Strike Official. I noticed on the website you have all the CDs available. The debut, the last one, part of the Sick World, and also the pre-order for the current one, 24/7 Hate. What other merch is available, or are you working on any other merch for your fans?
sure. There will be merch coming up. There will be new patches and new shirts. Also, we have a couple of our old CD of part of the Sick World left. There are, I think, 20 copies, or they are nearly sold out. And yeah, and copies of our EP 5 to 12. And I think in 2 or 3 weeks, our new album will be ready for pre-order on our homepage. We don't have the album yet in our hands, but yeah, it will be available, sure. And you can, yeah, I don't know, at any shop or something like EMP or Napalm Records, or I think even in the US on Best Buy or something like that, you can pre-order our album for sure as vinyl and as physical copies for sure, and CD also.
That's good news. And I see on your Facebook the Fearmonger official music video, so that's good that we could talk about this and possibility of other future videos. Let's talk about Fearmonger. I see that this video was directed by David Hambach and light and pyro designed by Thorsten Stahlman.
Yes.
And what led to having these gentlemen work on your official music video? How did the process go?
As far as I know, Marcelo, our guitarist, he's also playing in Drone, and he worked with them before in his former band. And they are very cool guys to work with, and yeah, very easy to work with. And we've seen videos from David Hambach before, and so we asked him if he can do it, and we sent him some ideas, sent him the song, and yeah, what we told him, the way we wanted it to be, and yeah, now we see the result, and we are very pleased with it. And it's online now since 1 week, and yeah, as I've seen, it's performing very well on YouTube.
That's great, which leads me to my next question. Is Surgical Strike planning on future either lyric videos or music videos to keep going with this album?
I can proudly inform you that in 2 weeks, there will be 2 or 3 weeks, there will be another video coming up on our YouTube channel from our new album.
That's good news. I think that videos are very important in a performing band's career. So some bands, they don't believe in videos, they just want to perform live, but sometimes, like you were saying,
in my opinion, videos are far more important to a band, even especially for bands that is not that well known, you know, because if you're not able to perform live or something like that, you have to get something to the people, and it's always better for the people that they have something to see, because if you have a good song, it's okay. But if you have a good song with a cool video, it makes the song even, I think, 20-30% better, in my opinion. And so it's always cool to have a good video. So.
I agree with you. I agree with you 1,000,000%. But I've from talking to quite a few bands, some bands don't want to do it. They just want to perform live. But if you're not totally active out there and performing a lot of shows, you're really not getting your name out there. But with the video, I mean, it's always there. People could always see you, and the interest for the band will always be there. So I think video is a great accompaniment to any band that wants to be performing live.
That's right. And the problem is, I see it. There's so many new bands, for example, that are putting out very cool and very good albums, and they don't have a video, and nobody even notices them. That's the problem.
Exactly. In this day and age, I think that ever since COVID, especially, videos are very important, very, very important. And so what are your thoughts on vinyl, by the way?
Vinyl is cool. I used to have a very big collection of vinyl in the past, and then unfortunately, when I was, I don't know, somewhere in the beginning of the 90s or something like that, I gave it all to my friends and sold it and all the shit and something like that. And I bought only CDs, you know.
Right.
And nowadays, to be honest, I still prefer CDs because they are better to handle. And you can, if you have a small apartment or something like that, and you don't have enough space, it's better for you to collect CDs. And the sound, in my opinion, is also better. But for sure now I got some of my old vinyl back from some friends. And yeah, I've got my father that died 7 years ago. I got his all of his own. He had a lot of vinyl, and I got his whole vinyl collection now here. And yeah, he's always he was a very big Elvis fan, you know.
Aha, I see.
Yeah, he
That's,
was a very big fan of Elvis and the Hollies. You know the Hollies?
the Hollies, yeah, I love the Hollies. They're great.
Yeah, and all this Buddy Holly and yeah, Elvis and Neil Diamond and all this stuff. And I got all his vinyl now here, and I'm still listening to it. It's very. I love that music.
Yeah, that's cool. I definitely would hold on to that. It might be worth something someday, depending. But I finally I talked to somebody that agrees with me about CDs. They definitely do have a better sound. You don't have skipping, you don't have the humming or anything like that. But I also am a big fan for convenience for MP3s. Sure, I want the CD, but to carry around an iPod with the music in digital format to me
Yeah,
is the
MP3s are
best
better.
way.
Yeah, cool. MP3s are for sure better if you drive in your car or something like that, or maybe you go to a party and you have a stick with the MP3s or something like that. It's always better. I remember when I was in the 90s or something like that, you went to a party, you were drunk or something, and you brought your CD to the party, and the next day you didn't know where your CD was because somebody has stolen it, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I used to walk around with what they called the boom box back in the day, and I would have CDs, and then I would have MP3 CDs that I would record MP3s onto a disc, and then I would just have what like a full discography, let's say, of a certain band to listen to for that day. But everything changes in time. We keep advancing technology. So for me, the MP3s, the iPods are the best thing. But having the actual CD is also very important. And I know a lot of people are big into collecting the vinyl because it is bigger and the art on the album looks better. So I know that a lot of bands these days are looking for the vinyl as well. But I know it's a very long process, very expensive process as well. But is that something that Surgical Strike will be looking to do at some point?
no, we have all our albums. The last album and this new album is also available as vinyl, so we don't have a problem with that. And maybe one day we hope that we can even make a reissue of our debut EP on vinyl. That would be nice.
That'd be great. Okay, good to know that. I didn't. I was not actually aware that you had the vinyl. I knew you had the CD, so I wasn't aware of the vinyl. But thank you for
No, we
letting us
have
know about that.
both of our albums. Our first album, Part of the Sick World, was also available on vinyl, but I think it's sold out already. And the new one for sure will also be available on vinyl.
That's good to know. And the EP, if I remember correctly, it's called 5212.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's my first exposure to Surgical Strike, and I definitely would say the band has gotten stronger and heavier over the course of time.
Do you think that?
I think
I think our debut EP is a bit heavier, but okay, it's always yeah, a matter of your perspective, in my opinion. But I think in some way we got really okay. To be honest, we on our debut EP we don't have songs such as Dead and Gone or something like that, or maybe yet on our new album, if you have listened to it already, the whole album, songs like Rose Walls. I think it's the heaviest song we ever wrote. But all in all, for sure, our new stuff is heavy, but we have also become a bit more melodic. You know, if you listen to our debut EP, for sure, there's more riffing on it. You know, and not
Yeah,
so
yeah.
many string
I,
guitars and this stuff. Maybe that's why
I,
it seems like it sounds yeah, for me that it sounds heavy on a debut EP in some way.
I hear you. I understand you too, and I kind of agree with you. I was thinking about your music before the interview, and I said power thrash. I wouldn't call it power thrash, but melodic thrash I would call it. Absolutely, I have to agree with you on that. It is melodic thrash, but you do have really good guitar work and excellent musicianship, and you have very strong vocals. So I think your vocals have gotten stronger over time as well.
Yeah, that's I like to hear that because yeah, that's really good compliment. Thanks, mate. Yeah, but you are, to be honest, you are not the only one who's saying it. And yeah, if I
Oh, no
achieved
doubt, no doubt about that.
if I achieved that in some way or other, that always was, as you say, my goal. You know, to
Right.
yeah, to increase and to improve my vocals from every record and every release to the other release. That's the most important thing to me. And maybe on our next one, if you do another album, maybe they'll even get better. I hope so.
That's always
I'm doing the
the
best. I'm
wish.
doing the best.
Right. And what kind of microphone do you use? What kind of microphone?
I'm using an SM, I'm sure, SM 58.
Okay. Very good. Jens, is there anything that you'd like to say to your fans that are tuning in around the world at this time?
Hey guys, listen to Metal Messiah Radio and fresh it up.
There you go. Well, I want to thank you for the interview. I've been looking forward to it. And congratulations again on the upcoming release of 24/7 Hate. I want to wish you and the best of Surgical Strike a great new year. Have great success in sales and on your upcoming CD release party, and may you sell out future events, and hopefully you get on some. I want to make sure though before we go, is there anything that you'd like to mention that we have yet to discuss? Because if there is, I want you to have every opportunity to talk about anything that you'd like.
Okay. No, what I like to say, yeah, I hope that we can one day come over to the US and play some shows in your country. That
I
would be
think
nice for us. And
I think
we know
we would
that we
like that.
have there's a lot of people there in the States that like our music, and yeah, all the bands, no matter if it's power metal, most of the bands I personally listen to, no matter if it's power metal or thrash metal, metal church, even if it's thrash metal like Exodus, Forbidden Testament, and Exorder, and even Pantera and all this stuff, most of the bands I personally listen to come from the States, and so I like to play there one day and play some cool shows. Even and use thrash bands also, for example, like Havoc or Dragoria and all this stuff. And yeah, I really like the music the guy is playing. And most of the US bands, they have such a great musicianship, and it's so cool. That's why we try to sound like these bands, you know?
I hear you. I hear you. But I'm thinking maybe, and hopefully there's a possibility you can come to the States, maybe in support of a band like Creator or Destruction. Do you think that's a possibility?
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully, it will work. We have some contacts, and Marcelo, our guitar player, he even knows some of the guys from better known bands and from great bands, and yeah, maybe one day it will be possible for us. We will see.
That would be great because I could see that happening, coming to the States, coming to New York, playing some big events. That'd be a really good thing. I think that is very possible. I mean, I know you're a fan of Creator for sure. Got to be a fan of Destruction. And I do notice there are a lot of bands out there that do have that style of the Bay Area thrash. But I wouldn't say that your band has that style. You have a very, I would say, more original sound, but there are many bands out there that have that Bay Area thrash metal sound. I love that sound too. But when you hear it from like a German band, it's like, wow, that sounds just like Exodus, or Metallica, or Death Angel, or anything like that. But
Yeah, Death Angel is also a great band. I forgot to mention, for sure.
yeah, but
All these bands, the lesser known bands in the States, you know, like the old bands like Cyclone Temple. I don't know if you know them, or
I'm not sure.
Atrophy. I'm looking forward to the new album. and there's a lot of good music over there.
Yeah, I hope you can keep in touch and fill me in, recommend music that you're liking. I'd love to check it out because I think that I would like the same kind of stuff that you're listening to. So keep in touch on Facebook, I guess, if you can, or even on Instagram. And if you hear something that you really like and you want me to check it out, please feel free to do that because I'm always looking to hear something that I like to play on the air.
Okay.
I appreciate that, and I
Cool.
appreciate the interview too. And how about we go crank up some more Surgical Strike and music off of 24/7 Heat, and let's crank it up loud.
Okay, bye.